Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Adam here with Retro Repairs, and today I'm back with another mail day video. No, I've been off for a little while. I've just been super busy and been doing home rental projects, so I've really had no space or time to do a whole lot of repairs like this. But I'm hoping to get a couple videos off this week so that at least I got something out there for you guys to watch. So as you can see, I've neglected picking up my mail for a while, so I've got a nice big old pile of, let's move this, nice big old pile of packages here that we're going to go through. A lot of these have been sitting there since, I want to say, March-ish. So I honestly don't know what a lot of them are anymore. So it's going to be a bit of a surprise for both of us. So I think let's just dive right into this. I'm going to do this right here on the table, as I don't have access to that little TV I usually do it in front of. So let's get started. All right, so here we have a Gameboy Advance. I've been keeping an eye out for a Gameboy Advance for a while. I don't really remember what the issue was with this, but I wanted one that had the back covers, because I actually don't have a Gameboy Advance. A lot of them will come without the covers, so I can fix some of the stuff inside, but I can't really fabricate a back cover. So let's, I'm going to try grab some batteries, and let's just take a look, see what's wrong with this. Alright, so this is the listing for that Game Boy Advance. 26 bucks Canadian, so that's going to work out to be about 20 bucks US. And Start and Select don't work, so that seems to me like it should be a really easy fix. So let's fire it up and let's just see. Alright, so let's fire this up, throw some batteries in. And everyone's favorite game, Chicken Little. Turn that over, there we go, power. So it is working, screen works fine. Got the power light. Just need... So up, oh, there we go, you just gotta push harder. Now it's okay. Start and Select do not appear to do anything, but they might not on this screen. Alright, press start, let's try. I got nothing, so clearly doesn't work, the Start and Select. Usually these are just pads that need cleaning, so hopefully that's an easy repair. Probably why I bought this one at 20 bucks, as it should be really quick, simple, open and clean. So I have seen these starting to go for a lot more than, oh, that just fell off, crap. I have seen these starting to go for a lot more than 20 bucks in broken shape, and they'll be missing things like the battery cover or have like broken screen or something that's a little more involved. So I don't imagine there's any need for me to spend any money to get this fixed, so that's good. Should just be an open, clean, and repair. So happy with that. Let's move on to the next one. So next item here. Again, I've got no idea what this actually is. So let's see what we've got here. Well, double bag. It's always nice when people take the extra effort just to really pack things up nicely. Like, this is probably a lot more bubble wrap than is necessary, but it's not going to get broken, so that's good. Where's that open? Right there. That's a lot of bubble wrap. Oh, these are Game Gear battery covers. I think someone was selling it in a group I'm on Facebook, or was giving them away even. I think I just had to pay shipping. So these are always good to have, because you find a lot of Game Gears that just don't have battery covers anymore. So took the opportunity, pick up 6 of them, 3 lefts, 3 rights, for any Game Gears that come through my door. So thank you very much for the Game Gear covers. I can't remember who it was that sent them, but very much appreciated. All right, next box. Okay, so we have Super Mario World and Super Mario Kart. So let's, I'm going to double check, see if there was a issue posted with these when I bought them, or maybe they were just untested. Alright, so this is what I bought here. Broken Mario Kart, Broken Mario World, they do not work. Unfortunately, you see that order date, April 28th, so that was quite a ways ago. So I can no longer access the listing for this, but 20 bucks Canadian, so I don't know, 15 bucks US maybe for both of these. So I can't go wrong with that, especially if we can get Super Mario Kart working. That game is probably about a $40 Canadian game, so 30-40-ish. I think that's worth it. These often don't really go bad, so could even just be a cleaning. We can test that out right now and find out. Okay, so we're going to test this out with my Super Nintendo, just make sure that it does work. Good, so let's turn that off. I'm going to give these a slight cleaning first, just to make sure that they're not dirty, being the reason why they don't work. Say hello to Kona, she's had a big day. We had to go for a drive and pick up all this stuff, so she's a little low energy today. There we go. So, real easy to try and clean these up. Highly recommend doing this method if you got games that aren't just reading very well. Grab a Q-tip, grab some 99% isopropyl alcohol, and just go to town on the pins. So, comes out a little bit black, not too bad. So there may actually be more at play here, but just to get an idea of what we're looking at. So again, that wasn't too bad for Mario World. We'll try the same thing for Super Mario Kart. This one feels a little grittier, so there might be some stuff on these pins here. Well, maybe not. All right, let's see what we're looking at. Apologize for that. So this is my working copy of Super Mario World. So we're going to try this old one. So nothing, no signal. There are a couple traces that could be broken on the board here that can definitely affect that. So let's try Mario Kart. Oh, Mario Kart works. Just want to go through it, make sure that the sprites and everything load okay, because Mario Kart uses a special mode on the CPU that it looks fine. So just to have sprites rotate, it uses a special mode, so I could see that being an issue. But I mean, that looks perfectly fine. So Mario Kart works. That's a quick, cheap Mario Kart cartridge right there. So I'm going to open it up, give it a full clean later on, but that's, I think, a good buy. And the shell's even in pretty good shape. Not perfect. I think there's a little scuff here, but overall very happy with that. Mario World, I'm betting I can get that running too. So on to the next one. All right, next item. Pokemon Liquid Crystal. I don't know what this is. This might have been a donation. Let me see. From someone named Michael. So, I'm going to check my emails, double check. It's been a while, so let's see when this was shipped. It's not even marked. Oh, May 11th, so quite a while ago. I'm going to double check my email. We'll see what that is. Okay, so Pokemon Liquid Crystal. What the deal is with this is this was a donation from someone named Michael. I'm not going to mention his last name here, but he emailed me, says, "Hey there, good morning. Was wondering if you're interested in a free broken Gameboy Advance cartridge, Pokemon ROM hack known as Liquid Crystal. I bought it off eBay, but during shipping, one of the microchips separated from its solder point. Seller is sending me a new cart and told me he didn't want the old one back, so I figured I'd shoot out an email, see if he wanted it." So, of course, I said, yes, please. So we sent it over. I think this will make an interesting little video, try and repair this. The interesting thing about this is, oops, the shell actually looks really good, like almost genuine. Like maybe this came off a Pokemon Sapphire EGB EO501. And that's a genuine Pokemon board, I believe, under there. Or at least it's a model number for it. So if this is a replica shell and a replica board, it's a very well done one, I must say. Sometimes what sellers or people will do is take the old chip off, maybe a dead game with a bad ROM chip, put on a programmable chip, and use the same hardware just with a updated game. So it's possible this was an old salvaged Pokemon Sapphire game that they printed a new label for and programmed a new ROM chip on there. So either way, interested to open this up and see what it does. But anyways, thank you a lot for that, Michael. Very much appreciated, and nice bonus is the little case that came with it too. So pretty cool. Okay, on to the next one. This one quite clearly is a Super Nintendo cartridge, but I don't know what it is. Let's see. So, looks like an old rental. Has an old rental sticker that got ripped off, or I don't know. It's just an old like pawn shop sticker. So it was purchased or taken in July 12th, 1999. Yoshi's Island. So this one, as I recall, the person was selling this, I think, and said that the opening scene doesn't work. However, the opening scene uses, I think it's called Mode 9 on the Super Nintendo. Whatever it is that needs to work for the background to rotate. So if that's the case here, I bought this thinking that possibly their Super Nintendo was failing. So I'll find that listing and we'll take a look. Oops. Okay, so the listing just says, for repair, cannot get game to load. Let's scroll up, see what I spent. So, $15 for Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island, if working, does sell for a fair bit. So, hopefully, it's something that's fixable. Let's try to clean it up and see. Okay, so I'm really hoping this is just dirty. Looking by the overall condition of the shell, it's really grimy in here. Lots of junk in there. So the pins don't look too bad, just by first glance. They actually look quite good. But we'll give it a clean anyways, just with the isopropyl alcohol. Making sure that you get the little bits of the board here on the side. Most games don't have that, and those are necessary for certain modes of the CPU to kick in. So I'm not getting anything out of that. So, oh well, let's put her in and try her out. So, Yoshi's Island. Black screen. So I'm not getting the no signal like I was on the old Super Mario World, so let's just try that a couple times. Black screen. So it could be a bad trace, could be something on the board. Let's that'll be a future video to try and open her up and see what's wrong with it. But there we go, Yoshi's Island. Alright, next item. Pokemon Firered. Sorry, you're out of frame there. Pokemon Firered. So I'm just looking at this. I don't know, to me the shell looks really orange, not red. So I'm curious if this is even a real cartridge or not. This battery or this screw is almost out, so I wonder if we can just open it. Yeah, don't have my tools on me. EBEO230. I don't know, it's hard to say. The label itself, I mean, the label, things you're going to look for is that it's actually a reflective label. They should be centered. They usually do a really good job of applying these labels. There's usually going to be a little impression here, so it's kind of hard to pick up, but right there you can kind of see it. There's like a stamp on the front of it, which is there, so that tells me it might be genuine. But I don't know. I had always thought these were a little redder than this, but I I might be completely off on that. Let's try her out. Try her in the old DS Lite. No, it's booting into DS, so it's going to tell me there's a DS option pack inserted. So when I see that, usually it's a failed, something's wrong with one of the connections to probably the ROM. The ROM or the RAM chip inside here. So might even just need to reflow those solder points and we might be back in action. But again, that's another video. On to the next one. So we have another Super Mario Kart. And another Yoshi's Island. Just going to pull up that listing on eBay and we'll see what I paid for that and what the issue was again. Okay, so this was the listing, Yoshi's Island and Mario Kart Super Nintendo lot not working as is. So again, March 26th. Too old, so I cannot load up the listing, but this was the one I was thinking of where I said that the opening scenes were not working for them because they use a special mode on the CPU of the Super Nintendo, so I'm suspecting maybe their Super Nintendo was at fault here rather than the games, but I'm going to clean them up and try them out. Let's see. Okay, starting with Yoshi's Island. Comes out pretty clean, so I don't think pins are the issue here. Yeah, nothing there. I assume the other one will probably also be cleaned if this guy tried to actually clean it first before selling it. Not everyone has a bunch of Super Nintendos that they can try just to replicate issues. That was perfectly clean too. So let's fire on to the Super Nintendo and see what we've got here. So let's start with Yoshi's Island. Okay. Sorry. Let's see if we can skip some of this. So the big thing is going to be the island scene. I'm not getting anything now. Yeah, there's nothing there. So just want to try, just do that trick. So this one does have a special chip in it, which helps with some of the graphical capabilities. So it's possible that that is failing or has a bad connection to something. So I am getting that same issue that was reported. So turns out it's not his Super Nintendo, it's definitely the cartridge here. Let's try Super Mario Kart. Black screen. Black screen. Let's try just put a little forward pressure. Ooh, green screen. So I'm curious if it'll go from there. No. Yeah, and we got the green screen again. So, I mean, works, but not really. So that'll be need to be opened up and investigated a little bit further. So, moving on to the next one. All right, let's rearrange some of this stuff, I think. Alright, so another nice packing job. We got lots of those big bubbles. Then it's wrapped again in more bubbles. A bubble mailer. And another bubble mailer. And then a Sega 32X. So this was sold as not working again. Yeah, genuinely curious if it actually doesn't work yet. Pretty common fault in these is there's a ribbon connector inside that just kind of loses its connectivity. So probably just a clean and fix for that one, but I'm going to make this another video just because I don't have access to my Sega Genesis right now. It's hidden behind a pile of cabinets and other building supplies. So let's see what I paid for this one and what if the listing's still available. Okay, Sega 32X system console, as is broken defective, 52 Canadian. So what is that, 45 bucks maybe American? These are really starting to go way up in price, so I have a pretty high confidence level of being able to repair this. So I feel I'm comfortable with 52 bucks for that. I should be able to easily flip it for 90 or even more maybe, but yeah, unfortunately March 11th can't access that listing anymore. But that'll be yet another video. I'm thinking I should open this big one here, so what did I do with my knife? I'm thinking I should open this big one right here, so let's dive into that. All right. I don't really remember ordering this. We've got and a bonus game. Where's Waldo 2? That's cool. So, pin connector actually feels pretty good in there. I don't know, we've got it's in good physical shape. It's missing oh no, there's screws in there. So interestingly, I don't know if you can see this in there. This has those security screws in there. This console usually did not. I don't believe any of these came with security screws. I think they were all Phillips screws. So that might mean that someone's been doing some tinkering already. But not sure about that. Let's keep going in here because there's some more stuff. So we have a zapper. Oh, good action on the trigger. Cool. All right. Looks like we've got a Nes Advantage Controller. Alright, there we go, Nes Advantage. So they're little arcade joystick style controllers. So I got, I think, one or two of these already. So a couple common issues are these switches sometimes go. Sometimes they just need an overall cleaning. These potentiometers, I guess in theory, could go, and joysticks. So, yeah, I'm going to look this up and see what the deal was with this. If this was a donation or if this was something I bought. I really don't remember buying it, but who knows? It was a long time ago, most likely. Okay, so this is what I found in my email about this. So, this is from a guy named Vince. He was very generously donated a broken NES to me. So it says, would you be interested in taking a broken NES off my hands, possibly doing a video on it? Recently got a top loader, tried to fix the original by replacing the pin connector, but it didn't work. Pretty sure it has something to do with the RF receiver, but I don't have the means to test or fix it. So thank you, Vince. In a further email, he says he threw in a couple surprise items. So clearly those surprise items were the zapper, the Where's Waldo game, and the NES Advantage joystick. So he says, again, he doesn't know if they work or not. However, I guess we can find that out in a new video. So thank you very much, Vince. Much appreciated, and hopefully we're able to revive that guy. I think that'll be a good video to make. Alright, so here we have, as you can see, it's a package from overseas from our friends over in Japan. So got a pretty good idea of what this is going to be, and I bet you do too. Maybe not, but... So, we have a Famicom. This was the original Nintendo. Before the NES came out in North America, the Famicom came out in Japan. So, games, they're slightly different in that they have different size and shape to them. Untested, may or may not work. So, I honestly don't know if I have any Famicom games left anymore. So I may have to borrow one from a buddy of mine, but I like to keep an eye out for Famicoms that come with all the parts. So the cover on the front here, the cover here, and obviously both the controllers. So it's a pretty interesting little system. Again, that'll be another video. Alright, so what do we have in here? Atari 5200 joysticks, so... Oh, these are missing the numbers. That's unfortunate. I'm curious, I want to check out this listing. And the buttons. Oh, that's rough. Alright, I want to check out the listing, see what we've... see what I've gotten into here. Well, Atari 5200 joysticks, controllers for parts only, 22 Canadian. Fortunately, that listing's gone, so I can't go and see the details, but I'm feeling less good about that now. I did not realize that the numbers were not even there, and the buttons on the side, so there's more parts that I need to get. For reference, where was that Famicom at the bottom here, I think? That Famicom that I bought was 32 Canadian, so I'm going to say probably 25-ish, 27 bucks. So again, these usually don't go too bad, and if worst case scenario, the parts on the inside can also be used a lot of the times in top loader NESs, so they're still good to have for harvesting RAM chips and things like that. So yeah, 32 bucks, I'm good with that. If we can get that working, I think that's a good buy. All right, so the last item here is not from Lowe's, despite what that'll tell you. I know exactly what this is. I've been keeping an eye out for one of these that are pretty cheap, because I really don't think I'll get any enjoyment out of using it. It's just kind of one of those things that's pretty cool and really obscure. So they got these stupid peanuts. So again, at least they packaged it nicely so that it's not going to break in shipping. I've had a few cases where things just show up all smashed up. Okay, I lied. Maybe I don't know exactly what this is. Oh yeah, there it is. A Colecovision roller controller. So how this works, you take your Colecovision controllers and you snap them right into here. I think, anyways. And then, I don't even know what games it works for. I'm going to have to really kind of look into this a little bit more. And I'm not able to test it right now as I don't have my ColecoVision set up. But it's got kind of cool. It's got some suction cups, which I'm sure do not suction anymore. This one might, that one definitely won't. But just one of those really kind of obscure, unnecessarily large controllers that came out back in the 80s for systems like the ColecoVision. So that's a pretty cool item. I think this was about 30 bucks. Let me check my history right now. Okay, so let's check out what else is in here, because I honestly forgot that there was more stuff that came with this. So next, So this is a Colecovision expansion module number 1, which is the Atari 2600 expansion module. So what happens is you plug this into the front of the ColecoVision, and it actually lets you play Atari 2600 games on it, which is kind of something that you would never ever see these days. So current consoles like Xbox One and PS4, it took years and years just to have cross-play online. Never mind being able to, say, fire up your PS4 and play Xbox games. That would never fly. But here we are anyways, with ColecoVision playing Atari 2600 games. So that's a kind of cool little add-on. If you haven't seen a ColecoVision before, they're huge. Adding that on top of it just makes it even massiver, which, yes, massiver is now a word. And then, nice little item here, just a little ColecoVision dust cover. So I think I'm going to throw that on my ColecoVision for sure. But yeah, I see these floating around every now and then, and they're really not cheap. So having that thrown in, I think, was a bonus. And then the last item, I think I did a video on this already, but we've got another Super Action controller. Oh, look at that. It's even got a baseball overlay for it. So these games, they came with little overlays that you'd pop on top of the numbers there. This one got left on, which is kind of cool because I have Super Action Baseball, but I don't have the overlay for it. So now you know what the heck you're doing on here. That's pretty cool. Let's make sure that there's nothing else in here. Nope, that's everything. So that guy was this right here. ColecoVision Expansion Module 1, Roller Controller, Super Action Baseball, untested, with that dust cover. So that cost me $40 Canadian. Let's call it 32 bucks American maybe on today's exchange. So that's a pretty good deal, I think, for all of that stuff together. So yeah, very happy with that buy as well. All right, so that's everything here. So as you can see, we got a pretty good haul. I think in total, this cost me about 200 bucks Canadian. So it's about 30% exchange rate right now, so you can do the math on that. So not too bad for what we've got. I think most of these Super Nintendo cartridges should work. The NES, I believe I can get that working no problem. Same with the Sega 32X and the Famicom. The rest of them, I guess we'll see what's actually wrong with them. I have never seen one of these ColecoVision attachments for the Atari, so I imagine they basically just take the chips from the Atari and mash it all up into a smaller version, and then you can attach it to the ColecoVision. Same with the roller controller. I really don't know what's there to go wrong, except for maybe some of the sensors that pick up that ball moving, kind of like an old mouse used to work. So anyway, really appreciate everyone watching. I hope you enjoyed the video here today. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you next time.